Welcome. Today, us at WLTCG will be bringing you semi-exclusive news on some very groundbreaking revelations for this card game. Things that you have never seen before and you could have never predicted. Today, I'm Roderick Sykes. This is Samuel Kilmer. This is Joel Garcia. And we're bringing you everything there is need to know about the Ghost in the Shell expansion coming in 2020 in 30 minutes.
Or less.
Let's begin.
So first off, the card.
Oh my god.
Put that thing up there.
So people, if you remember Alice Cluster had machines. Machines were void cost. I was gonna let you read.
Okay.
I was just gonna briefly introduce it. So machines were void costed because they were machines. They don't have typings. They don't have souls. They don't have souls, I say.
Yeah.
But overall, their entire thing was just they didn't have any type to them. So what do we get?
We get a new Ghost in the Shell promo that will be releasing with the starter decks for the first Alice Origins set. Kusanagi, 7 Void, 14/14. You're like, 7 drop, 14/14. That's pretty expensive, pretty big body. Tell me, Hoa, what does it come with? Well, 1, she's a human machine. My fucking machine support I've been wanting.
Oh, yeah.
You got your machine support.
Quick cast. I don't know who the fuck's gonna be quick casting this in at 7 during your opponent's turn.
Trust me, I will.
Isis can, because she'll be like,
I will
I'll
without
just,
ISIS. I can do it. I'll figure it out.
I'll just casually tap 7 moons during your turn. Anyways, quick cast, first strike, flying, barrier, drain, precision. But wait, there's one more. Goddamn fucking swiftness. And this card cannot be canceled.
This is literally about as bomb as you can get a card without straight up printing you win the game on the card.
What the fuck is this?
So many people are talking about how if you could just go turn 1 harvest, energize, if you hit the right stones precisely. Energize, hit 7, RFG 7 of the machines you just hit. Grab her. Solid.
My God.
Is it consistent? Absolutely not. But it's funny, and that's what matters. But no, like I can see a lot of like either mana ramping to play her, or just putting her in the grave and then just like Brunhild flipping or stuff like that. Like I can definitely see a lot of things playing it. But
dude,
she's
this card is
she
a
costs so
fucking
much.
monster.
But if you get it out,
And the thing is, like, this card cannot be canceled is huge because as far as we know, going into Alice 1, we only got like, what, 2 cards that cancel?
yeah,
Kaguya and that
Song
Chant
of the Fairy.
Rune.
yeah, Summer Fairies, and
Winds of Salvation is rotating out.
Yeah. But that didn't cancel it.
But that
It's
just
pseudo
removed
canceled.
It's pseudo canceled.
Yeah. But yeah, we're losing a lot. I mean, like even like Fairso is going out. Like the
Yeah.
only other cancel we have is Sealing Scroll, but that doesn't touch these things. It won't touch any of the new cards.
Like, when this bitch comes down, she'll be putting her fat ass on the goddamn table. It'll
Like,
just be
the card itself is like really strong, but what I'm actually more surprised than anything is like that this collaboration is even happening to begin.
Oh,
with.
dude, I would have never thought in like these years and coming years, Force Will would have done a. I'm assuming this was gonna be like a Vingolf like set,
Yeah,
whatever,
sort of ish.
with
As far as-
fucking Ghost in the Shell.
And it's gonna be an entire starter deck and mini set.
Yeah,
So we don't know entirely what that entails, but we do have ideas of what that could entail. Roger, would you like to
Machines.
begin?
So,
machine.
so as I was telling Sam on our way here, hello, I have a feeling that it might not be the whole thing, but it'll be a good chunk of it. This is the Machina starter deck that we're getting. Hear me out. We have 7 kings. And if they're doing 2 starter decks, a set release, we have Faria and Melgus. I still think we're going to get Valentine and Priscia next set, and then Arla and Rezard, since those are the rival combos.
Yeah,
Machina doesn't really have a rival, but they still need to represent him somehow. What is a great way to get Machina in on the fun while also doing a promo collaboration / Vingolf? Ghost in the Shell are machines. make them void.
Yeah.
There's Machina support. And I think they can get away with it. Have Mariabella and some other like named staples that Machina use, but then the rest of the new cards are pretty much from Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, you could do like some bullshit like Force of Will thing, like Machina and Maribella got dragged into the Ghost in the Shell world.
No. The lore is obviously 100% just gonna be like, yeah, he just made him.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, why did he make like the majors? Like, because he could.
Yeah.
There's gonna be like no explanation to it. It's gonna be like, yeah, it happened. He made them. Whatever.
Man, I just want a fucking mech warper in this Ghost in the Shell collab.
Can you tell us what Mech Warper does?
So, if you guys don't play Hearthstone, Mech Warper is a mech that decreases the cost of other mechs, in this case machines, by 1, which would probably be 1 void in this case also. My God.
Did you know there's a dragon that says that resonators that you're attempting to play cost 5 or greater cost 1 void less?
I did not.
Yeah, so it's a 1-drop dragon that says resonators that cost 5 or more that you're attempting to play cost 1 void less.
Jesus.
No.
No, man.
Oh, he
like,
wasn't aware of this.
I want to scrap and build this bitch in. I want to... Hell, I might run teleport just to cheat this bitch in. I don't know what the hell. Whatever I can, I'm going to bring this bitch in with machines.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. You can
mystery box it out. Yeah, you're right.
You can scrap and build. You can low-keys master rune.
Yeah.
It's just good.
There's just a lot of things that you can hit with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can definitely see Machina just having the Ghost in the Shell collab together. Is there gonna be lore behind it? Probably not, but who cares? It's Ghost in the Shell. It's something new.
Fucking Final Fantasy 14 is doing a Nier Automata or whatever crossover. Don't ask me how the fuck that fits into their lore, but it just does.
Well, there's so many Final Fantasies. I feel like they could just start saying whatever they want, and people can't say no to it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, this happened, and Final Fantasy people would be like, I don't know the timeline anyway. So yes, I agree.
Yes, if they could cross with Nier, we could cross with Ghost in the Shell.
I mean, this is an alternate timeline.
I guess.
So anything can happen. Because we've established that because at this timeline, Volga's not supposed to be dead.
Well,
no.
Well,
was he?
So that's something that I've heard a couple times, and that's actually not true. This is the time that Volga is killed, and I've said it multiple times. The timeline we are at is literally the time in which like the 7 kings and how we've identified them starts up. Because this is the timeline that's described in the first lore chapter of the 7 kings that's on the Forceful website. This is when Faria meets Alice, and Alice tells her that she has a greater destiny. This is the same exact time period where she's sworn in, because Lars goes on a journey to save Charlotte. Melgus is in the process of overthrowing Volga. According to what I know from lore, Volga was a tyrant, and a lot of the decisions he made for his people were very bad.
And he has a daughter.
Yes, well, that's what we learn now, is that he has a daughter, which was news to me. But Volga was a tyrant, and Melgus was part of a resistance that got fed up with it. Now, Melgus might have taken some... He pretty much, I wouldn't say took the easy way, but he said, this dude's got to die. Yeah. And so he went and did what he had to do, made a pact with Leviathan, things like that. So this is when Volga is supposed to die, because you remember from BFA, that Volga was part of the Memoria, which were about the ruler's history, if you remember.
Yeah. I didn't know Volga was a part of that.
Yeah. So the only reason why we saw him was because his being emanated from that Memoria, from that history. Riza and Melder came out in BFA as well, right?
Yes.
They were part of Rezard's history, things like that. The reason we have Mariabella as a card was the Memoria that was part of Machina's history. So all those cards from BFA are not from that exact date and time. They were from the past.
Oh, most of the cards from BFA.
Well, most of them, yeah. So that's how that worked. So just to clarify, this is actually a proper time that Volga is supposed to be dying. That all makes sense. Everything we've seen so far is in line with what we heard about the story.
Shakti's the only new thing.
Well, new, yes, but there hasn't been anything in the lore that discredits or discounts that she should have existed. Just because
No, I'm just saying that, like, this very well could just be the fact that, was it 10 years you said? That,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years in between, like, when Alice gets there to, it could just be that 10-year gap. But at the same point, Lapis is already there. I don't recall Lapis showing up this early.
As far as we know, Lapis had already visited Ataraxia before. We didn't know when, but he had visited them in the past. They referenced that a couple times, especially going into Lapis Cluster. As far as we know, because of the way space-time works in and out of Ataraxia, he potentially visited Ataraxia like multiple hundreds of years before the events of where we're at now, originally, before coming back. I'll have to go revisit the Lapis Cluster lore because it's very interesting. And now that we have new lore, it might actually fill in some of the holes that I've had before, and we might actually learn some things about what's about to come.
Maybe.
But I will let y'all know if I find any
Thanks.
differences.
Yeah. 'Cause there's a lot of things that they can bring up with Lapis and people.
Oh, jeez. It's
I mean, it's gonna be interesting to like what you mentioned in our spoiler cast about like Shakti meeting Lapis, and yeah, I wonder if they're gonna keep it where like she becomes a part of him, because Lapis is not opposed to this type of thing.
Yeah.
No.
But also, we haven't gotten confirmation if this is old Lapis or new Lapis.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying as well. We haven't gotten any confirmation on that either. There's a lot of things that can happen.
Yeah.
We just have to.
I'm interested to see how Lapis corrupts the 12 protective deities.
Oh, it kills them and brings them back to
because,
life. That's
yeah.
obviously what he does.
The big, like, it's just like, it's going to be so interesting because now that we've seen their original forms, you're just like, God damn. Like, shit just apparently happened.
Like, Athena's about the only one that looks like her old one.
Yeah. Izanami, she's like...
She's dead now.
Yeah,
Like,
she's like a
literally,
complete 180 of
a
what
zombie.
we used to know her.
We got even Phoenix.
Yeah.
He lost all of his color. He's just flat out red now.
Yeah.
With a little bit of
Our
hint.
little
Same for
snake
Athena.
boy.
Athena just becomes pure red, becomes the Titan of Revenge.
The same
No,
thing
no,
with
I
our snake
mean,
boy,
like,
man.
the color of the actual like art.
Like our little snake boy
Like,
goes from
he has, like,
2
some
heads to a fuck ton of heads.
Oh yeah, yeah. He has way too many heads. Way too many.
And he's also just pure fire.
yeah.
So yeah, I have some speculation as to what's going to happen, but I'll leave that to the side for now until I have some more concrete information. With that said, hey Taylor, if you're watching this, hit me up because I like to discuss some spoiler stuff because I'm itching for new lore and they ain't giving me enough of my flavor text crack, and these cards are doing like very little to satiate that. Somebody, if y'all watching this at the company, please give us new lore. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell happened at the end of Rhea Cluster, let alone Lapis. Come on, man.
Did we ever get lore? No, we never did get lore about how Lapis came to exist.
I think
right?
they just stopped updating the lore, didn't
Yeah, I
they?
think it was like midway through like
Lapis who? Like
Inheritor of the Stars.
Oh, we don't have anything concrete. We know that Rhea and Gil did something, and then he exists. But the moment he started existing, they stopped existing.
Yeah. Yes. Are they their parents? Yes, no, because like we know Lapis and Gil are brothers.
You know what?
That's the end of the lore, really. It's just
You know what? There's a card that I can look at.
Our lords and saviors, I spy. Please give us something.
we're never gonna get.
No, we're probably never gonna get anything.
Haruichi Kido.
How we're lucky enough just to get anything from I Spy regarding like I don't know, lore products.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen,
No.
sadly. But yeah, it would be nice if this is a world where it's the new Lapis, but like everyone else is the same. If you're like, you're the evil Lapis. Lapis is like, what? No, I'm a good boy.
I'm good, Lapis.
Or what happens if it's the old, new Lapis, but he gets corrupted? So instead of starting corrupted, he gets corrupted.
And then he spreads the corruption.
Yeah. That would be an interesting
But what would have started the corruption?
Literally anything. Literally anything can set a teenage boy off.
Oh, yeah.
We don't technically know how old he is, ever.
He looks like an
his
edgy
birth
teenager.
Was teenage years. And then he just doesn't age ever again.
Yeah, it's like...
So he could be whatever age he wants to be at this point. Because I think during like Lapis Cluster, they talked about how Lapis is like hundreds of years old. Was it Lapis that was imprisoned in time, or was imprisoned at some point by Alhamat? And Alcera's had to like save him.
Yeah, I feel like I remember something about like Alhamat was like, Lapis, you're a fuck up.
You're
Go
in
away.
timeout, and he like puts him like in a location. And Alcera's like, I'm gonna get you out of the cage. And Lapis is like, thank you, friend.
You don't know how
I'm
long
killing
I've been
people
here,
now.
man. I've been here for
I don't recall
ages.
anything happening like that. I do know when Allosaurus tried to kill Lapis. I do know that Alhamat would sleep for a couple thousand years. I do know that like, Lapis was mad for whatever reason, but we really couldn't figure out why he was mad. Did we find out he just had a dragon soul sleeping inside of him?
The Destroyer of Worlds Dragon Soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Never
guess.
figured out why. It's one of the weirdest souls to have. Wow, I need a soul to put in my dead brother's corpse to make him alive again. I have the super evil Destroyer World soul. This'll do.
Seems legit.
Opens up the back, huh? This only takes AA batteries. Puts in Dragon Soul. Good enough.
Sir, did you put in the new heart? Heart? I put in a fucking soul.
Oh.
It's like, what? Yeah. But besides that, we were going to talk about the future.
Oh yes, not the future of the storyline or like the lore for FOW. We're talking about a different kind of future. The future of 3D. In other words, real life Force of Will. In our community.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I was wondering where
I was so
going.
confused
No.
for that second there. I was like, 3D, we don't have the technology, huh?
Nah, man. We're getting out of this 2D art. We're jumping into 3D. So then, let's talk about what happened a week and a half ago or whatever.
We held a Vite Ramen circuit.
Yeah! Clap, 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 clap.
So, who would like to talk about info? As a matter of fact, our judge should talk about his experience.
It was interesting. There's a lot to do to be a judge. Like I expected most of it being like running around helping people. The part I wasn't expecting was the whole running the stream. I really shouldn't have tried to do that while being judge.
Yeah.
Because we learned later on what happened. So basically, one of the players didn't realize that there was such a thing as master chance, or I don't know what he was confused about. So everyone turned in a deck list. I didn't have the time to look at them. The only time I really used the deck list was to put up top 8. You know, I made the gacha logs. And when top 4 happened. So one of the players, since we had 9, he actually made top 8. But we only did top 4 as the cut. Well, he was playing Brunhild, and he was running her original master rune, you know, Odin's Judgment. But he's also running Blade of Faith. I didn't expect anyone to have an illegal deck list. So I just didn't check, and I meant to check, and I wanted to check. But I never had the time. You know, running the stream, answering questions, like making sure I like devied up things. So yeah, that's definitely something I want to improve on. I'll probably ask like OL to get the stream set up before starting a round. So that way I can have, you know, every round look at a couple of deck lists at least.
Yeah, our stream needed a lot of help. I was expecting to do other things, and then I was told that I can't do those other things. I was like, oh, fuck. I need to think of something pronto.
Yeah. So now we know for the future to probably have like a dry run, you know, like not actually stream, but just like set everything up, check with the, you know, store to make sure everything's fine. But yeah, we've learned a lot. And yeah, next time, hopefully I'll just have Cole set up the stream, and then we'll start the rounds so I don't have to do both.
Yeah. And I also need to find like something as filler in between rounds. It's like I tried to find something. I don't know if someone that's listening could like send us like a link that has like, I don't know, like free, I don't know, like animation that could just like play on repeat or something.
Yeah, and the other thing was people were wanting like music, so we're gonna have to try and figure out like a very long playlist of different music that's not copyrighted.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to work on that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like for a first stream, I think it went okay.
Yeah.
Like it didn't go great. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
What we had, a total of 5 games. So if you want to check out the meta, I know that there's not a lot of coverage of it because besides
Festival.
the festival or White Ramen and then Worlds, those are the only three things that I can know are going to be available to watch for
Yeah.
this meta.
I know a lot of people are setting up Vite Ramen tournaments in what was it, December, I think, or like late November.
Yeah. I remember seeing some November stuff.
But I don't
Which I
know.
think it's kind of weird because it's a Halloween thing, but
Yeah, but
Teach their own.
anyways, it was like I don't know if they're gonna be streaming or like I hope we get like in-depth reports about it so we could at least gather some info.
yeah. But I think Worlds is going to be the number one place because that's
Yeah.
happening middle of this month.
Yeah.
I think it's pre-release weekend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
think so.
15th through 17th or something like that. Dates. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, if people are watching this, hopefully they'll check it out and give it a like. Uh-huh. But yeah, besides that,
Shameless plug.
shameless plug. No,
Good
besides
thing
that,
that was
I think
nonchalant.
it went well. I mean, we had Colin and Oscar that came up from
Yeah,
Austin.
it was really fun having
we
them.
had
we had Randy as
Randy,
well.
Yeah, we had
Thanks
Randy.
to all of you guys for coming down, hanging out with us for the event.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, I know it was a long drive for a lot of people, but I mean, like, we've driven to Austin. We always like to have fun with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't as big as I was hoping. I wanted like 12 people.
Yeah.
We didn't quite get there, but I mean, at least we made it.
Yeah.
We made the 8 at least.
Yeah.
And then Colin went home.
9, actually.
I said we made the 8.
Yeah.
I guess my phrasing was a little bit. But yeah, and then Colin was the only one that didn't get Matt, sadly.
But I mean, he still got a mat because
It just wasn't the Matt.
Yeah, it wasn't.
We gave
the
him was
viral.
it the pre-release Matt from DBV.
Yeah, it was.
So
Oh.
it wasn't. Yeah. It was nice though. Like I think it went well. I got to see the two trans battle it out twice. I think was it the second round or third round that they played?
I think it was the second round.
Yeah, I think it was second round. Yeah, I think the third round was.
It was the third round. Should have been. I think it was me and Oscar. Third round.
Yeah, something like that. Because I remember it was just like I was trying to pick people that hadn't been on stream.
Yeah.
But it was like between like you and Oscar and like it was like Roderick and someone else who had already been on stream. And I was like, oh, like, there's no point in doing this. Like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna try and like push up a random person.
Yeah.
But yeah. But besides that, yeah, I think it went well. People had fun. I think, or I hope at least, you know.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I felt really bad when I was playing Oscar, especially when I got the double Arthur Lancelot.
So you just get on -10 before draw, so he can't stop you.
Yeah. It's like I did win the match in like 20 some. I think it was like less than 20 minutes or something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
he said
around
like
there.
I mean, what rounds were like 50 minutes, and
Yeah.
he said there was 26 minutes left on the clock when you guys
So
match
like
end.
give
So,
or take like 20 to 24 minutes.
so you took about half the time.
Yeah.
To what you 2-0'd him, I think.
Yeah, but it's like it's good, but sometimes I just don't feel good playing.
Oh no,
that.
I definitely have been on that end.
Yes, you have been, Sam. You have been on the receiving end of the Lancelot.
Just remember, I survived 4 turns of that. 4.
Remember, boys and girls, the goal to fighting against a machine deck with Lancelots, don't aim for the Lance yet. Kill the things he's about to put counters on first, then blow him sky high. Because once he hits 10, that's when you don't win. It rhymes because it's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know on the TCG Scrubs podcast, they talked about how Oscar loved the way that Ho was playing his machine lists in comparison to Colin. I think the only big thing I want to mention about Colin's list was why wasn't he running Scrap and Build?
Yeah.
That's like the only. That was like the single, easy to put in card. I feel like every machine player runs that, and maintenance are like the almost like guaranteed.
Yeah, we're talking to Kevin, one of the people that were playing in the tournament, and Kevin usually only plays against me when I'm playing machines, really. And he was so used to trying to save his ceiling scroll since he was playing Anzo for the scrap and build. But he's like, man, I found it so strange. I never saw that scrap and build.
And like a week later, we're now like, oh, he didn't play it, and Kevin's like, that explains why I didn't see it. Yeah, but instead he just kept on canceling the.
I think he said the Arthur Master room.
Yeah,
the one that splits the.
I forget the
Nons.
name. It's a weird name.
Yeah, it's like the giant cannon or whatever. I can't remember. Antimatter cannon, I think.
Yeah, antimatter cannon, something like that. But yeah, it's besides that, I was happy that there's almost never really a like besides machines. I don't think there's any like same ruler or deck style. So we had like Adam, Brunhild, Isis, two machines, Lich, Ayu,
Hanzo? Did you mention?
Hanzo.
Did you mention Loki?
Yes, I think. Pretty sure.
But anyways,
Anyway,
we had 8 different decks.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun to play around, and I mean I didn't get to play, but it was nice to answer questions.
Yeah.
I honestly got myself like super hyped up and like super nervous about it, where I was gonna have to like do like all these like hard stuff. Yeah, there was nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't have to reverse any game states. I didn't have to give any punishments. I think I like warned a couple of people. That's about it. It was fun.
Yeah. It was a great learning experience, and we're hoping to get better. Like, we've been talking to a lot of the other groups around, I was about to say around Dallas, but around Texas, about setting up Vite Ramens in other places.
Or to see if they'll come here again.
Yeah, if, like, they'll come here, we'll go there. However it works, we still need to talk about it. Hopefully our learning experience here can help the growth of other tournaments.
Yeah, because I would like to see resurgence in Texas. Yeah, but I think Texas always has that like factor of it's just
a
so
big
far.
ass fucking state.
There's so many people that are like,
Pretty huge.
why don't they just drive? It's like a couple hours, right? It's like, no, it takes like 3 hours to get to Austin.
Yeah.
It takes how many hours to get to Houston?
I think
4
another
or
like
5?
4 or 5.
Yeah.
It was
And
to
like
go to
Randy
San-
probably drove at least a couple hours.
I think his drive
At
was
least 3.
4. Like I
3
think
or
it was close
4.
to 4 hours, but yeah.
Yeah. So at least 3. So like people are driving like, it's a solid like.
It's like an 8-hour drive.
Yeah,
back
we
and
normally leave
forth.
at like 7. We get there around like 10 to 11
Yeah,
from here to Austin. It's not fun.
it's not. Even with like cruise control, it's not fun.
Yeah. Like I'm used to driving that far, but like it's so early in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Personally.
And it's like you got to communicate with everyone because you guys got to go in like a caravan or whatever.
Yeah, so you guys got to meet together so that we can save gas, money. It's a long drive. But yeah, hopefully we can start to get something out, and hopefully we can all agree upon a central location to be meeting at.
Yeah, or like even if it comes to like kind of like rotate around cities, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we each get to see like a different part of Texas. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. And
Like, it'd be really cool since we have like 4 big cities in Texas. If we do 4, like if Vite Ramen like grows and we do like 4 big Vite Ramen tournaments a year and just rotate through these big 4 cities.
yeah, something like that. I know that. I mean, we have no plans for this. I know I would love to have it. The fact that Force has been moving towards a more store-oriented GP style.
Yeah.
I really like that just because like the guy that owns the store that we go to is really like keen on it. Like he's just like, as long as there's players, I'm willing to like put in the effort to do this.
I'm so happy we have LGS, dude.
It's so great.
That they work with us so well in growing our community.
For like the Vite Ramen thing, it was just like, hey, we want to do this, and he was like, okay, I'll look into it. Like he talked to a couple people, like a few, like not even a week later, he's just like, oh hey, yeah, we're gonna do it. I bought the kit.
Yeah.
And
No,
we're-
I think like he first like asked us like, can you guarantee like at least like 6 to 8 people? We're like, yeah, we could try that.
Yeah, because we were like, oh yeah, there's gonna be at least 4 from our locals, at least 2 from here, probably like 1 or 2 from this area,
Yeah.
and we ended up getting 9.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with the kit and all, it was pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. My thoughts are pretty similar. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say something that y'all might not agree with. I think it could have been a whole lot better.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
No, well, we agree with that. It could have been a hell
It's
of a lot
definitely a
better.
learning experience. About how
And the
we
reason
can
I say it
improve.
could be a whole lot better, I honestly feel like the date we set was too soon. I'm gonna still reiterate. I would have rather held this tournament after Alice Origins release, especially after seeing all the other shops are holding it well after the release of it.
Yeah.
And Bite Ramen is perfectly fine with that. I would have definitely waited because that would have given more people an opportunity to join. It would have been far less short notice. We could have new players in, we have new cards in, shake up in the meta, things like that. Like I know some guys from Houston, 3 to 4 of them said that they would come down to the tournament, but because it was such short notice, they weren't able to make it. And I feel like even if we had an additional week or two, even if it wasn't when the set came out, that would have been great. Gives us a chance to advertise, gives us a chance to make sure that we have prizing in order.
Yeah.
I think it would have been really good if prizing would have been of like Alice Origin related like product. Like imagine holding it
I don't know, man. DBV is very hard to come by.
It is, but we also didn't have really much DBV. We barely was able to give out DBV packs to the 9 people that were there. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think one, having bigger numbers for the attendance, like 12 to 16 would have been great. And two, having product as prizing of the latest set would have been best. Because also consider this, a lot of new people coming in aren't going to have cards or any relevant things from New Valhalla. And while DBV packs would be cool, those cards assist decks that come from New Valhalla. So in all honesty, DBV is borderline useless aside from less than 10 cards. Is borderline useless to anyone that's just getting into the game now.
I would say less than 10 cards. There's at least 10 cards that are good.
So think about
that
this.
can be used in any
Dark
deck.
Alice can be used in any deck.
Yeah.
And I don't include the 10 Commandments. They just generally fix in general. Because like I don't include them because as we see now, we're getting dual stones back.
But they're still going to be used to a degree.
They're going to be used to a degree, but also consider this again. They really are only helping New Valhalla decks. If you buy a Faria starter deck, we presume that, you're getting Light Vapors. She's going to be fully equipped to play the cards that come out of the first set of Atlas Origins. She won't necessarily need the Angel of Zeus or anything like that in order to keep herself going because she already has the cards and stones equipped to do so. But decks like Adam, decks like Brunhild, they need it. But that's because that's the kind of tailored support that set needs. Brunhild and Adam didn't get Light Vapors. They didn't get Heat Raids. Lilith is coming right out of the gate with Heat Raids, so she doesn't need a Desert Mine or anything like that, So that's why I say that they don't count. They help for older decks, yes, but not for anything that's new. But newer players are getting some of the new stuff. Dark Alice is a good card in pretty much any light deck or any deck that can run her, of course. Yeah. And you still got cards that are good, but I still think it's less than 10 that truly matter. Isis she's an okay resonator outside of Isis. Genshi, similar thing. You're not really sweating for Genshi when you're playing Melgus or anything of the sort. Lich.
No, Lich. No, but I mean like Alice, Dark Alice, Lucifer. I would honestly say some of the reprints were really good. Like you had whatchamacallit? The Mana Dork for Acolyte of the Sun.
Yeah, Acolyte.
Like some of the reprints were just generic cards that were good.
Yeah, so like I'm saying, there are some good ones, but you're kind of hard pressed to make a solid argument for more than 10 cards. 10 is like the hard cap. Anything else starts getting into like fringe territory, which comes back to that loop of those people aren't aware of those cards, and then you also have to consider, are they really breaking the bank for that? They're really just trying to learn the game and they're trying to start fresh. Like I was talking to some people earlier. They know about the cards that exist in New Valhalla, but they've intentionally not went to go get them because they want to experience the new cluster itself. So that's why I say that this would have been a very good opportunity for us to have held the tournament after. Yeah. We have a nice set to kick off the new locals, get some new people in, then have a big set for them to look forward to.
Yeah. I feel like the other big thing was the fact that we were thinking of it like ARG, where we only had a limited amount of time to host it. And since it was a Halloween thing, we were trying to do it before Halloween.
And I guess we did let our excitement get to us about holding an event. Mm-hmm. And the first event in a very long time.
Yeah, and I want us to start doing events again. Trust me. I miss the ARGs that I used to go to where 20, 30 plus people showed up to it and we had fun. And then I especially miss the GPs. And I
Yeah.
want to get
Oh,
us
yeah.
to a state where we start having those again. But I feel like in order for us to get to that road, we're going to have to take the long one. So we won't be able to like rush and pump out tournaments like we were used to. We just don't have that kind of local support
Yeah.
anymore. We have the support of the store for sure. And I definitely thank Andrew for all the support he's given us. He's helped us out a lot, definitely a lot more than the previous store that we were at. And with that said, I want to make sure that it's, not for nothing, and I want to be able to grow it. With that said, I've talked to him. He mentioned the idea for how we can do locals at the end of every month. I think that's a cool idea. The starter deck tournament / tutorial day, teaching people how to play new mechanics. I think that's going to be paramount. I think what is going to come down for us is really securing new product, securing an understanding of the new cards, both how they work with New Valhalla and how they work by themselves, and getting people interested in those cards as they are. Now, that is going to be some work on the company itself, because if the company makes dumbass decisions, then we can't really,
I feel like they've learned their biggest one, which was not having enough structure decks.
Yeah.
The fact that they come with every single set guarantees that we're going to have
It's a
something
new structure deck.
to sell to them.
And at least, and I don't know how they're going to do things for the rest of the boxes, but at least Lenneth is a prime opportunity for us to really get a lot of rulers from Alice Origins out on the market. That way, we don't ever run into a situation of, hey, I would like to play Ruler X. Well, Ruler X is going for sale online for $25, $30 because their starter deck is non-existent, and we were promised that, and it doesn't come. So
I don't know, that doesn't fit the specific rulers, but it fixes the fact that there was just no rulers available.
Yeah,
Like there's just nothing.
That's the primary thing, is that like right now for New Valhalla, you can find maybe a couple rulers here or there, but like one problem was like they didn't even have any rulers to find. But ideally, the starter decks themselves, they're a big thing. We get a good influx of them. As long as they keep up with that, I think we'll be good, because starter decks are de facto a primary way of getting somebody into a game, regardless of how much it costs or not. Especially with the way Force Will does their starter decks, they're actually pretty good, if not better than a lot of other TCG starter decks, because with like Yu-Gi-Oh, you have to buy multiple. Pokemon like structure decks, they're crap. Like in the grand scheme of things, they come with like at most 4 cards that are probably good. The rest is filled with energies.
It's usually just like, hey, you wanted the supporter? We printed a couple sets back, but it was like $20. Here you go.
Yeah.
Like you pay 15 to get like 2 copies of a supporter was like $20. Like that's how you quote unquote made your money, was just like you just wait till the show.
Pokemon starters are pretty bad.
Sounds atrocious.
And then every once in a while you get a good item card, but the Pokemon are usually just trash.
Yeah.
Like there's one
and with Yu-Gi-Oh,
out of
you
every
buy
year.
2 to 3 of the structure decks, just that way you have a full play set of all the cards.
And sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not.
Yeah, but Force Will has play sets of everything.
Yeah, 4 cards. Except your ruler, of course.
You get your
you
ruler,
get 1
4 copies of every single card in the main deck.
Yeah.
You get 2 copies of all the strangers now.
You get 4 copies of both special stones that come in each deck, and then 2 basic stones. Then you're getting Makoto as a promo card.
Yeah. So it is a quote unquote tech card you can add to your deck now.
Yeah. So like
Plus,
with the starter decks, they have a lot of value right now going into Alice Origins, and I think that's really cool. So
I kind of like the thing that I always like to do is like show checks is always like hold a tournament, but I feel like we're gonna actually probably, like, we're still talking this out, but we're probably gonna lean more towards the just helping players learn the game.
Like another tutorial day.
Yeah, but with the structure decks. So instead of trying to teach them this weird complex rune stuff, we're just gonna be like, hey, this is a stranger deck. If a card references it, do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't touch it.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to explain to kids, people our age, even like just new players.
No, we're kids. I'm a big kid. He's definitely a big kid. We're kids. But no, it's easier to explain than runes. In a way, it's much more balanced than runes. It is more RNG oriented, but it has that surprise mechanic that some Pokemon players like.
Yeah. But yeah, like I enjoy the fact that like it's somewhat random and it gives the player the super consistent like runes where it's like I'm always gonna play this turn 1, I'm always gonna do this turn 2, stuff like that, where like you can, at least with semi-random and not like always in your hand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm happy for what's coming out, and I like that a lot of the cards seem hype. Like, as much as the new company or the new leaders of the company don't talk to us a lot and don't do everything we need, they have been bringing us really, really hype cards.
They have.
It's like almost all the spoilers, like almost every single day, I like read at least one card where I'm like, I want this. I want to build a deck. Like Shock T, I was like, I want to build this deck. I saw the God's Support. I was like, I want to build this deck. I see Faria stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to build this, but I like the chance. Good stuff. Like, it's like, I like that whenever I can see spoilers consistently and be like, I'm always like, I want to build this. I want to build this. That's good. That's good for a game.
Yeah. But hopefully these good cards that are coming out will be good for our community and the future growth of our community. And I think this has gone on a little bit longer than it should have for like our mini podcast or whatever we wanted to do.
It's shorter than our
it's shorter than our normal podcast.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and just
I do want to say one more thing though, on the note that I mentioned when I was speaking with Andrew about future tournaments. Starting soon, we are going to be hosting a new tournament style, not necessarily a format. At the end of every month, we have Broke Boy Beatdown, which is going to be an interesting tournament structure in which you can enter for no cost whatsoever. Now, the way the prizing works is you only get packs if you get three wins or more. But if you go undefeated, you get an additional pack on top of that. This is a good way to get players into tournaments for no cost and little risk. Or you could just pay normal tournament fee and get pack per win. Either one is fine. But we're thinking of ways to get people engaged in tournaments, even if like cost or not having a good deck is a factor. Because nobody wants to enter a tournament and like pay money and then get nothing out of it. So we're looking to ways to entice people to join the tournaments, even if they don't have the best deck or they're not feeling the confidence, or even if they're broke. That's why it's called Broke Boy Beatdown. So
at the very little, you can just get some experience.
Yeah.
Like, because I know like a decent number of people like Daniel. He just likes to play.
Yeah.
That's what he likes to do. So.
Yeah, we make decks for Daniel and he plays them.
Yeah. I mean, he won.
Yeah.
Our White Roman.
Yeah. Or like he gives us a list, we put the cards together and he plays it, but
He plays a lot more online. But yeah, he's the type of guy that like if he can play for free, he'll just come out and play.
Yeah.
And like I definitely can see him showing up Sundays now for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's some of our plans. We definitely have more in the works. We try to roll them out more to get confirmed, but yeah.
I guess that's the end of this. So
Yeah.
thank you for enjoying this, and hopefully you like a little mini thing midweek. So
we don't know how often we'll do mini podcasts. It was just like this week was a very long podcast. We didn't have enough time to talk about everything.
We were dead last weekend.
Yeah.
After that time,
you two were dead.
Yes.
I'm always ready. I don't sleep.
Sure,
Okay, I sleep all the time.
anyways.
I sleep really good.
But anyways, that's it from us.
Goodbye, everyone.
This is Joel. That's Sam. That's Super Shady Roderick.
And I shall return to the Shadow Realm.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.